Hello, I'm ABXTrigger, and this is Q&A Saturday, the weekly series I run on my channel where I answer your questions that have been asked over the past week or so across my channel. These tend to be mostly based around the next Minecraft update, which is obviously going to be the update Quatic for all platforms, besides some of the platforms maybe. Again, we've had a lot of back and forth now, but today I'm talking about the updates Quatic and Life, the Universe, and everything else that people have wanted to ask me about. Hopefully you all do enjoy it. You can like this if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets me know you do like Q&A Saturday and want to keep on seeing it every single Saturday. If you want to leave a comment for next time, make sure you leave it in the comment section down below, because that's where I pick all the comments from. But let's get straight into the first question from last week's comment section, which comes in from the Diamond Wall, who says, Q&A question: what do you think the Tridents will be repaired with? Do you think the update will raise the bar a bit too high for future updates? And to answer your first question, the Trident Repair question is a really important one, but because there's two ways you can take this. Is it going to be like bows, where you have to use bows, or is it going to be like the Elytra, where you can use Elytras to repair it, but you can also use leather? I believe it will probably be the first situation, where you have to use Tridents to repair them, because right now, at least, Tridents are really easy to farm, because Drowned give you a bunch of Tridents and stuff like that. So yeah, right now I believe Tridents will be repaired with Tridents. There's a chance they'll change that to be Prismarine or something, but again, we'll have to wait and see. And then to answer your second question, do you think the update will raise the bar a bit too high for future updates? And there is actually some potential for that. Again, now we know how big this update is, and now we know there's going to be 2 updates a year, at least that's the plan. It's going to be a really tricky thing for them to keep up with this, but I really think the big thing that makes this update great is that they're focusing on a particular theme. It's been a really long time since we had a themed update. You know, the combat update was kind of close, but like if you think about the Frostburn update, it was kind of everywhere. Even the World of Color update, colors isn't a very good theme, whereas the Aquatic update, it means there's going to be one biome which gets significant changes, and there's slight changes everywhere else, but it means that you're going to have one focused place to explore the new stuff. And in a game as big as Minecraft, in a game where you have as many possibilities as Minecraft, I feel like that's a much better idea. So yeah, it might raise the bar a little bit, but I think if they keep focusing on biomes like they've already said they're going to do, then it will lead to the same thing where, like, are you excited for the desert update next? Then you would probably say yes, right? So yeah, let's move on to the second question, which comes in from Avex Red, who says, Q&A, do you think we should get more than 2 updates throughout the year? And to answer your question, I would prefer more than 2 updates throughout the year. Like, I feel like, you know, the golden ages of Minecraft in terms of, like, the best update times is where it was, like, every 3 months or so. If you go too much more frequently, like every month, then you have much more diluted content. Like, again, in Fortnite, every week is great, but, like, you know, you only get 1 item a week, and the same thing happens in GTA, I've heard. So, you know, it's the same sort of thing where, like, you know, there's such thing as too frequent, but I also think 2 updates a year is a little bit too infrequent. However, I will say, that's as me, I'm not a developer. Like, I just, you know, that's for me, like, being like, why don't they just work, you know, 2.5 times as hard and get 2.5 times the content out? Obviously, it's not that simple. There's a lot more that goes into it. There's inspiration, there's passion, there's bug fixing, there's all these different stages of it. But yeah, personally, I would prefer 3 or 4 updates throughout the year, but I think the 2 update system is great because they're pretty big, pretty focused updates. Like I just mentioned, like, having focused updates is kind of better than having more updates if they do the focus right, and if they really can fundamentally change each biome, which it looks like is their intention. And, you know, that gets me more, you know, excited enough anyway. But yeah, personally, like, 2 updates a year, it just seems like not enough in the modern environment where every game is updating, you know, all the time. Like, games are trying to hold your attention as much as they want to hold your time, and if they want to keep up with that, I feel like at the very least, the Bedrock version is going to need more than 2 updates a year. But again, we don't know if the Bedrock plan is the same as the Java plan, so we might get more than 2 updates throughout a year on that version. But again, we'll have to wait and see. We'll just kind of play it by ear and keep things going. This is the start of that update plan, so things change all the time, and yeah, it's just a future plan right now. It's not the future that we know. They could go for more updates, they could go for less updates, they could decide to never update the game again after 1.13. We don't know yet. It's just probably not that last one. So yeah, let's move on to the third question, which comes in from Matty Morsh, who says, on your latest video about custom skins, a lot of people are arguing if PS4 is going to receive custom skins. Are custom skins coming to PS4? So I assume non-native English speaker, based on the like mistake. That's a fairly common one. But let's answer the question directly and say that custom skins on PS4 is pretty much 0% chance. So there's 2 reasons for that. The first one is that it uses the PS4 edition right now, which doesn't have the same skin system as Bedrock. So again, the only reason that Minecraft Xbox is getting it is because it's using the Bedrock skin system, which is already built into the game to allow custom skins from, you know, your phones and your PC. And the second reason is because the PS4, you know, isn't going to get Bedrock anytime soon. We can't imagine. But the second thing on top of that is that then Sony would have to support it on their console itself. And again, even Microsoft supporting, like, downloading of external files, there's some potential for that to go wrong, which I'm sure they have to go through so many steps to make sure it won't. And yeah, it doesn't look like Sony intends to do that right now, but we'll have to wait and see about that. So custom skins on PS4, it doesn't even seem likely right now. It doesn't even seem possible from the current situation. It's not impossible, but it's not likely. So just no is the easy answer, but like maybe, probably not is the long answer. So yeah, let's move on to the third question, which comes in from D Korn, who says, Q&A, what did you have for breakfast? We haven't had this question for a while. And to answer your question, it's actually, I had the saddest breakfast today. I'm a big advocate for good breakfast. You gotta have the best breakfast you can have. It's the most important meal of the day, even though it's not, like, that's a myth. But yeah, today I had, like, it's a bowl of, like, I think it's called muesli. It's like sad food that you're like, you know, you have when you're being, like, a little bit healthy. And I didn't have any milk, so I was just like, oh, this is a bowl of, like, nuts and wheat, I think it was. It was a little bit sad, but I'm gonna make it up the rest of the day. And as soon as I can go to the store next, because I've just been a little bit busy since I got back from America, I am going to go ahead and go buy some more bacon, because I feel like bacon for breakfast has really been, like, improving my days. I'm gonna go, like, keep eating bacon for breakfast, because again, there's some science behind, like, protein in the brain. I don't understand the science, and honestly, I don't really want to. I just want to believe, like, yeah, bacon for breakfast is probably good for you in some way. So yeah, that's what I'm doing currently. So let's move on to the fifth question, which comes in from Samrat Paul, who says, Q&A, do you think they'll make water on Bedrock the same as PC and console water? So this is a good question, because PC and console water looks pretty good, whereas Bedrock water looks, you know, not necessarily the same quality. It looks terrible. So yeah, what's the deal with that? I believe it's a holdover from when they first, you know, like, put the water there, because, like, they had, like, two types of water physics, and they wanted to make water as low resource taking as possible, because, again, bear in mind, Minecraft Bedrock comes from Minecraft Pocket Edition. Minecraft Pocket Edition had to run on phones, and phones, you know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, really suck compared to today's phone. Like, today's phones, like, they're coming up on the power of, like, a, you know, low-end console, low-end PC, but, like, phones years ago, like, think about the specs compared to today, and it's just, like, how do you get raw to run there, and they made a lot of compromises. However, I feel like nowadays they could probably have, like, a better water toggle in the settings, and I feel like, especially with the new update coming out, which is going to change, it'll be a little bit off the update of Quadsic, but when they change all the textures in the game, that update will probably have the, you know, like, new water synchronized across all the versions. But so yeah, they're not going to make the water on Bedrock the same as PC and console, but they will make the PC, console, and Bedrock water all the same at some future point in time, and that's something we'll see as soon as Jappa is done with the textures, which again, I'll keep you up to date when we know more about that, but for now, it seems kind of on hiatus because he's working on the 1.13 textures, because there's lots of new things he needs to make textures for. So let's move into the next question, which comes in from Verity Hernandez, who says, Q&A, what do you think about the drown mob? Did you expect a different mob or a creative mob? Also, are you tired of Mojang making variants of the zombie? We've already had pigmen, zombie villagers, husks, and baby zombies. So I will say, Velia, that the number one comment seems to be about the drowned, that like, oh, it's another type of zombie. People are hyped about something else, and when you find out that it's a zombie variant, you're kind of bummed out. However, I will say the drowned is the best zombie variant that I think we have in the game. That's my personal opinion, at least. That like we have, you know, all those types of zombies, but zombie villagers, they're just zombies that you can potentially convert. You know, like baby zombies, they're just more annoying zombies. Zombie pigmen, they're kind of the whole and separate thing too. Husks are just zombies you find in deserts. Like, I don't like the variants that we've had so far, but drowned are really cool because they're found underwater, so that's fun by itself. They give like a brand new, like, you know, they're found from regular zombies too. You can drown a zombie to get it drowned, and then also because they hold tridents, they make the underwater ocean so scary. They're like actually one of the best mobs you could have down there, and honestly, they didn't need to make them a variant of the zombie, but I'm kind of liking that, like, by making more variants of existing mobs, you can add more mobs to the game more quickly. So again, bear in mind, they've already added 3 mobs to this update. The drowned is just the 4th of them, and honestly, again, I don't think like it has too much in common with the regular zombie, besides the fact that like they make similar noises, they have the same health, etc. And although that is kind of a big deal, I feel like the fact that it's a different threat for a different part of the game in a different way. Again, it's a ranged zombie. Like, again, when you see it with a skeleton, you don't say it's the same as a skeleton because, again, different combat, different effects. I feel like the drowned is actually our first type, you know, zombie type, besides the zombie pigman maybe, that is actually a brand new kind of encounter. And yeah, I feel like they should do this more in future. Like, if, you know, instead of having like 2 brand new mobs in the next update, let's say, if they could have like 10 variants of existing mobs, like, oh, it's the underwater mushroom, and it's the, you know, it's the skeleton that only spawns in hills that has like longer range arrows, or, you know, whatever the effects could be, you could do something kind of cool by having more mob variants. And that's what I actually thought they would do after they introduced the husk and the stray, but they kind of stopped doing it. So yeah, I actually like mob variants if they add more variants than they would otherwise. And I also think that the drowned is barely even a mob variant, and I don't actually understand the rage on this one. Like, with most situations, it's like, yeah, that feels lazy, but to me, this doesn't feel lazy. It's actually great because you need tridents, you need to farm them, etc. And yeah, those are my opinions on the drowns. A lot of people have been asking me, and now you know my full thoughts. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Charlie G, who says, Q&A, what do you think the next mob will be, and what do you want it to be, other than updated Quatic? So, you mean it says other than updated Quatic, but the next mob will be a dolphin. There you go. So, what do I think it will be after that? Again, I personally would love to see like 1 billion mob variants, although if that's not what it's going to be, I would personally, you know, put some the tiniest bit, like, we don't have any hints about anything going on with this update, but the tiniest bet on camels, because, again, I like camels. Jeb, like, joked and laughed along with the guy who said camels would be a great thing, and again, if they haven't decided the next update yet, then I feel like camels are, like, 1, 2, 3, 4% more likely than anything else, so that's my official bet. But what I'd like it to be, I'd like to see some form of, like, I'd like to see some form of flying mob, like some form of new dragon, something big, something new, and something boss-like. So yeah, that's my opinion. New mob variants or some kind of boss would be pretty great. Let's move on to the next question, which comes in from XX, who says, what is the age rating of your videos? How old are your fans versus the age demographic you aim for? Then later, they edited their comment to say, I know it's family friendly. I mean, what is the age of your viewers in analytics? So the official age of my viewers in analytics is around the 25 mark, a little bit below 25, a little bit above 25. They're the two largest demographics, and it's kind of interesting because a lot of people try to put you in a box. So, you know, I play Minecraft, and everyone's like, that must mean, and also, I since, 2013 or something, I haven't sworn just because I went through that whole phase where I was like, you know, I'm just going to save the swears up, and then once a year I can, like, throw them at someone, and it's going to really hurt, not hurt, but, like, it's going to, like, have an impact, because if you swear every 5th word, then it doesn't have that same thing, but a lot of people, like, try to say, like, therefore family friendly, because I feel like a lot of YouTubers, they have the intention of, like, deliberately aiming at, you know, families or whatever, they say that, because I've never heard that term outside of YouTube, but they'll say family friendly, and what they really mean by that is, like, I hear, like, you know, young viewers are the best way to make money on the internet, or, you know, like, with Minecraft, blah, 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 but to me, it's just, like, anyone can watch my videos, but I make them for anyone who's in the same situation as me, where you're playing Minecraft, and you're curious about the game, you want to learn more about it, and I don't have an age range on that. If you're, you know, like, 14, you don't like Minecraft, probably not for you. If you're 7 and don't like Minecraft, probably not for you. If you're 16, or you're 14, or you're 24, or you're 46, I met a fan who was 46 this weekend, actually, then all of those things, it's entirely fine, you know, and I just think it's kind of interesting, the whole kind of, like, trying to put yourself in a box, and just to prove that, you know, the whole family thing isn't what I'm deliberately aiming for, then if you're watching this as a family, then your mother probably doesn't love you. There you go, now your mother hates me, now you can't watch as a family together, I've just ruined, like, 1,500 families, and I did that to prove a point or something. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, I don't have an age range on the videos, like, I'm just talking about cool things I learned about Minecraft, and you can make your own decision if that's for you or not. I feel like the age rating system is good for movies and for games where you have to, you know, again, someone has to make the purchasing decision for you, but if you're watching, you know, videos of your own volition, and you just want to know, like, is this a cool thing or not, then I feel like having that label, personally, I don't like it, but maybe that's just me being weird. So, yeah, and also the average age of my viewers is 25. I imagine some of that is, like, someone being on someone else's account, maybe, or maybe, you know, not, because if I had to guess, it would be slightly lower, but my opinion is skewed by the comment section, because there's a lot more younger children in comment sections than there is otherwise, because, let's be honest, if you're over the age of 18, when was the last time you left a comment and engaged with that sort of stuff? Probably not too recently, whereas a lot of people typing first every time, or typing whatever else you see in there, you can tell there's, like, a younger skew there, because it's the way comment sections breed toxicity, but that doesn't necessarily apply true to younger children. So there you go, there's my thoughts on age and demographics. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't agree, and there you go, I guess. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from the Dossie, who says, how have you kept with your New Year's resolutions, or have you done keeping with them? And to answer your question, I'm gonna say I did pretty well. I was, like, doing pretty solidly. The second channel's doing great. That was one of my big ambitions this year. Like, it's been, like, 2 videos a week over there about geography. Really been enjoying that. And I was doing really well on the whole, like, I'm gonna be healthy this year, until I went to America, and it's like my last, like, 3 months of progress is, like, wiped out in 4 days, because I ate the 30 burgers from White Castle, and then, like, basically every day I was in America, I ate terribly, and it genuinely cancelled out, like, 2 months of, like, progress or whatever, and that sucks, but honestly, on the other hand, it was kind of worth it. So yeah, New Year's resolutions, I do still think about them every now and then. I think it is important, if you're the sort of person who sets New Year's resolutions, to either, like, you know, to care about them, or just to pretend they're nothing. I feel like to, you know, care about them and expect them to just get done is not a good thing, and yeah, it's important to check in every now and then. So thank you for checking in. It's going pretty well, although not the whole kind of fitness thing, but again, I'll like, just, it'll cancel out, it'll be fine, and we'll just go the other way a little bit, and by the end of the year, it'll be all better. So let's move to the final question, which is going to come in from Robert and Q, who says, Q&A, do you think Microsoft has ROI from buying Minecraft? I'm curious to see the percentage of sales versus all Microsoft products. So, yeah, do you think Microsoft has made a return on investment? Because they spent $2.5 billion, and it's funny, at the time, everyone was like, wow, Microsoft, way to buy the game way too late. You know, it's hit its peak already, and it's already its downhill. But the truth is, in terms of any measurable metric, Microsoft has made, like, the best decision, at least that I can tell so far, because first of all, they sold a bunch more copies. Again, Minecraft Minecraft is at over 150 million cells right now. It's on some absurd number, and I know somewhere between like 50 and 100 million of those cells were made in the past, 4 years. Again, it's tricky to nail down the exact numbers now and the exact number 4 years ago, but they made an insane number of sales alone, and at like $10 average per copy, you can imagine, okay, well, they made like a solid amount of money there, like a fifth of their investment back already. But then you've got to consider all the other things they're doing. And what I really like is actually, besides the, like the game itself, which again, there's some controversial decisions, if you look at the things they're doing otherwise, with merchandise and stuff, again, it seems like, wait, so they sell all this Microsoft merchandise, but the truth is, by selling all this Minecraft merchandise, they're selling things that people want to buy. I saw so many people with Ocelot hoodies this last weekend. I've seen so many people with like the Minecraft plushes because they want to buy these things, and by distributing them wide and far, the merchandise is what's selling a lot of stuff. So yeah, the amount of merch that's been sold is crazy. I secretly want an Ocelot hoodie, by the way. I'm gonna look into one of those. But to answer your question, I believe they're probably close to breaking even by now, but they're also making like an absurd increase in the revenue streams. Think about the fact that, Minecraft Bedrock is now selling microtransactions, so there's now going to be a fixed yearly income, even if they don't sell any more copies. All the different, like, basically, the game is doing pretty darn well, and even though Minecon was cancelled, which, could have been a potential thing in the future, I feel like they're doing pretty well in every avenue in terms of sales. So, yeah, that's the answer to your question. They've probably just about broken even. We haven't seen any fixed numbers on, like, what percent of the sales is Minecraft, anything like that, but what we can say is that they're doing pretty darn well, and if Minecraft even lasts another year or two, I'm sure that's the point where they'll have made a decent profit, and after that, and also, that's excluding the fact that by having Minecraft use Xbox Live, it's using their technology, which is beneficial, because now all these Android and iOS players now have Microsoft accounts. Like, there's so many huge benefits in terms of synergy of other stuff. Like, they made a bet that paid off, and then they also got a huge boost to their consoles and to their, to their system, to their ecosystem, which is important for Microsoft, and yeah, it's just something you don't really realize when you think about it, but it's huge, and yeah, I think their bet has paid off. So I hope you did all enjoy this video. Like it if you did like it, because it helps out the channel out. Let's know you do enjoy this sort of video. Share it if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe with notifications turned on, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.